emails.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. We have two bots in the meeting. I thought you are on holiday.
What's up?
I thought you are on vacation because you had palm
Me?
tree next to your name on Slack when I checked it yesterday.
Oh, well, I'm always on vacation, I guess. I love my job much. No, I have.
Yeah, I was
I
going
definitely need
to
to
type a
remove that.
message. Yeah, I was going to type a message on Slack yesterday. I've seen the palm tree. I was like, okay, he's
Oops.
on vacation.
Yeah. Really good idea to get rid of that. Yeah, I've been off and on quite a bit. My kids are both home for the summer and we've been doing a lot of stuff together. So it's been good. It's been good. But I'm not on vacation today. I'm actually in Atlanta today. Came out here for a couple of events, a DJUG event and a Docker meetup out here. So good stuff. It's a lot warmer and wetter here than what I'm used to, for sure.
Hey, can we kick those those two bots there?
I don't know who can kick them.
Fatih, kick them.
Can you kick them, Fatih?
No, I can't.
That's so.
I'm not that powerful.
Yeah, over in the other side of the house, they kick bots all the time. I noticed that at Kubernetes SIG docs. They're like, out of here. We're recording it. You're going to get a transcript. Whatever.
Yeah. I
don't know. Are they can only a host kick them or something? I don't even have an option.
Yeah, this Zoom was created in 2019, I guess. I don't think we have anyone with the key to this Zoom.
Are we using LFX for managing this now, or?
No, not TOC. The board meetings switched to LFX, but not this one.
All right, cool, man.
Well, maybe we can figure it out. In the meantime, we have 2 extra guests to our TOC meeting. All right, shall we go ahead and kick this off? Andrea is on vacation, so I'll be leading for this meeting and for the next meeting till he returns. And let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's get our notes started. Okay, you should be able to see the agenda now. And I'll go ahead and put a link to it in the chat so that you can add your name to the meeting. Let us know you're here. This reminds me of taking attendance way back when in school. All right, so first thing, do we have any open action items? Let me get back down to the actual meeting notes. Here we go. From last time, anything? I didn't see anything in here that we won't be going over already when we go over the progress on all the project updates and stuff. All right, I don't see anything. I want to move to the most exciting item on our agenda, in my opinion. Let's look at the Hacktoberfest stuff. Do we have everything we need there, Fatih?
No, I think even the website, the official Hacktoberfest website, is still 2022, so they haven't started their 2023 process yet, I think. But what we need from CDF projects is to let us know which our projects are planning to take part in Hacktoberfest, together with the contact persons. If you can open that document, Melissa, you can see a few projects already signed up.
Okay.
So we need this information to us end of August, so Roxanne can coordinate these efforts like blog posts and other stuff that we do as usual.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Fatih, just so you know that Ortelius usually does a special landing page for Hacktoberfest. So we'll make sure you get that information as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have some pages from last year, so please, Steve, like if you have such thing, then we can have that. If other projects want a blog post, we can publish them. Just, yeah, Roxanne will reach out to contact people. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything more to talk about at Hacktoberfest? Anything else we need to do there besides just knowing the projects?
I think most of the work falls on projects themselves. Like if they are planning to take part in it, they should have already started thinking about this. I think, Tracy, you run Hacktoberfest for Ortelius in the past, so you might want to share your experience, like what the projects need to do apart from like outreach efforts.
Well, I think that what we do right is in our blog post, we already have set up like at least 20 of the issues that we want people to encourage people to do pull requests. And we include that on the landing page and in the blog post. And we also make sure that if we do anything that's tagged Hacktoberfest, we try to make as many as possible good first issues. So those would be the two things I would encourage is list the issues that you want done. Make sure you have a lot of good first issues. And the Jenkins community, they've done an amazing job of doing Hacktoberfest. And Ortelius has copied them almost word for word in some stuff. No need to reinvent the wheel if somebody's already done a great job.
Do they have their own landing page as well?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And that landing page, and I do the same thing. I try to update the issues if they've been completed. I'll update the landing page and say, done.
Is there any projects we should reach out to specifically, other than the ones that are already listed here? I have not participated in Hacktoberfest in the past, so forgive my ignorance on it at the moment, but is there any, I mean, we have our own projects. Do we just stick with our own within the CDF?
Typically, yeah. We may have some crossover, like on the Ortiz side, we have to see how we're going to break it out, but we have the Emporis sub project, and we'll probably slate some of the Hacktoberfest towards the Emporis coding. But that group also crosses over into the CNCF. Was it the application artifacts? So we'll make sure that people know that not only are there CDF like meetings to go to, but also CNCF and OpenSSF meetings that they should follow as well. So we kind of do like a cross pollination that way.
Okay, excellent. And you and Tracy, I mean, are heavily involved in projects. Did you get communication about the Hacktoberfest other than through the TOC?
No,
No, DigitalOcean won't update their website till like 2 weeks before it starts. They're really late on it. So it makes it kind of hard to kind of do all of the social promotion because their site comes up so late. That's why, like right now, it's probably looking at 2022 if you go to DigitalOcean.
Take a look at it. Move my,
it can be frustrating because you're like, are they having it this year?
right. Okay, so this is the still,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes it difficult. But
So
we did
that
see
was
happen.
posted, it looks like September 30th. So literally at the end of the, right before it starts, they switch it over.
Okay, wow. Yeah, that makes it difficult. All right, so I mean, we have a few other projects. Should we reach out to them individually, or do you think everyone is already aware that's part of the CDF?
I think Roxanne already sent an email to all the project representatives, or she will send it asking.
Yeah, she did. Because I got an email from her to say, if you're gonna, yeah, so she did.
Oh, good. Okay, that's what I was wondering. All right, any other discussion about it, or we can move on to the next exciting thing on the agenda? All right, let's talk about licensing. I appreciate this since we talked a lot about licensing last time. Now we have a real issue we need to address. And it looks like Brad McCoy opened an issue for us. Go ahead and open it up here. We possibly or might have some issues with HashiCorp. We need to go in and look at what we're currently using and make sure we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I don't know, like if like you had chance to look at, like I'm talking about all of you, if you had chance to look at the conversations around this topic on the internet, like HashiCorp announced this change and they include FAQ there, but there is a lot of confusion there, like what is considered to be a competing thing for HashiCorp, and many people are kind of confused, like, oh, is our use, can it be considered as a competing use for HashiCorp and so on? So it's still a very hot issue. Like I think this happened on Thursday last week, or like during last week. So my suggestion would be to, you know, as Tracy mentioned, like look at what other communities are doing, for example, CNCF, and we can try to do similar things. Like one of the links I put there, Melissa, if you open the license exception for Terraform provider SDK, for example. So that one, a Flux community member opened this issue to, you know, collect the different users of Terraform providers, for example. And this is one of the projects that is impacted by this license change. Like others, Packer, Vault, and so on, we would need to do something similar for our projects to see if these projects are used by our projects, and so if we are impacted by this change, we can potentially get legal help about this as well, because many projects are potentially impacted by this, not just CDF projects.
Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. And Oleg had said something. I'm just going to bring up the conversation here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had mentioned. Oh, yeah. Let's close this. Talking about some kind of partnership deal between the Linux Foundation and HashiCorp. If we can find out what's going on there with the CNCF, you know, we could do the same thing, hopefully.
Yeah. I think again, it would still be required for us to collect the level of impact, like then
Right.
the LF legal might have better idea about like, okay, this is how much our projects are impacted and can we do anything about this?
Okay. So
Steve,
Brad,
sorry, I interrupted you.
oh no, you did. Brad opened the issue. Let me go bring it up again. Is it this one? There we go.
So it's only an issue for using any HashiCorp packages, is that correct?
Or Terraform to do any kind of
Right. Yeah, I'm just thinking
No,
Terraform.
I think
infrastructure, yeah.
yeah, but some projects use Packer for building images, for example. So that is another thing. Some projects might be using Vault for securing their secrets. Again, they probably don't have any issue from licensing perspective, but it would still be good to know, because if a project is packaging Vault as a dependency, and if their users are downloading those things, then that would expose the users to risks as well, not just our projects, because those users might in turn make out of products from what they download from our projects, for example.
Right. So what we need to do is
projects.
so what we need to do is figure out, have each project investigate whether they're using any HashiCorp packages or tools like Terraform or Vault.
Yeah.
Should we send communication to all of our projects leads or maintainers, just to get the process started?
Let me look into it first, because I know like with Ortelius we use Ortelius to manage Ortelius, so we have all of our SBOMs and stuff. I just have to figure out what we need to look for to tell people this is what we need to invest, go and look for any HashiCorp Go packages, or if you have Terraform or Vault. I think we need to do that investigation first, then we can tell our projects what to look for to determine if they're consuming anything.
Okay.
So let me put that on my to-do list, and I'll take a look to see what we need to dive into.
All right. Awesome.
Because like Fatih was saying, if we're not exposed, then we just have to, let people know in the future not to go down that route and be careful that way. And we should be pretty safe.
All right. That's a good idea. A good first step.
I don't want to make more work than we need. If nobody's using it, then it's a mute issue.
No need to sound the alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. We have some issues just as references. We already looked at the license exception. The CNCF has a similar issue. So they're doing the same thing. Maybe you could look through some of this information, Steve. That looks
Yeah, I
like
will. I'll kind of follow all the links to see what people are talking about.
awesome. All right, moving on, project updates. I guess we don't have anything, we don't have Emil doing CD events in August. We're still looking at Ortelius next month.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
Actually, what date is that in September? Because Tracy and I are traveling mid-September. That's why. I'll figure it out. don't worry. If we have to move to November, we will. If I have a conflict.
Okay. Good deal. So is the CD event, does anyone know why that was crossed out now? Just that it's not possible, or is Emil unavailable? Anyone have any insight on that? I'm just curious if we're planning on rescheduling.
I would imagine with Andrea being out as well, he's pretty heavily involved in that.
Right, right.
And August was a month of vacations for everybody.
Yes. All right. Roadmap and work items. Let's go ahead and bring this up and take a look at what we have in progress still. Create a project communication map. Looks like we have a lot of stuff here. I noticed we have nothing for Persia. Maybe I'll take that as an action item to get that done. Actually, Steve, are you?
I know most of them, so I will update that item, that issue with the Persia links.
Okay, cool. And then screwdriver. Anyone know someone we can reach out to there?
Alan is the TOC member. He is not here today, but he might be the person to turn to.
Okay, and then Jenkins X. Anyone know?
No, usually it's just the Jenkins community.
All right.
Tom Hobson, if I'm not mistaken, his name. He is pretty responsive, like he's on our Slack as well, so he might. But yeah, Tom Hobson, yeah, exactly. He's on our Slack. Melissa can try him.
Okay. All right. Let's ping folks again, just to see if we can get this part completed. After we do that, what's left here for this task? We need to post it somewhere on our website, or?
Yeah, I think
Something, yeah.
yeah, the projects page on CDF website is taking the project information from the landscape, but that information doesn't have this type of things. So the idea was to replace that page. Like if you can go to CD Foundation website, Melissa, you will see what I'm talking about. It's like having that technology and projects.
Right.
Like replacing this page with the information, and we have been gathering on that issue.
All right. Let's just do another round of pings, I guess, for our missing projects. And then when can we start? Should we make a goal of when we can start updating some of these? They all need to happen at the same time, or can we go ahead and update the ones we know?
I think we can't have some projects taken from landscape and some manually included because of WordPress limitations. So we need to do this one go. Not maybe some projects, they don't have to have all the information there, but at least if we can have some consistency when it comes to how we present our projects, then some projects can have all the information and others just have their GitHub repos, for example, or GitHub orgs.
Okay. All right. Right, next, let's see. Okay, we have this IP policy. We had lots of discussions about that.
I
And
thought we had that one pretty much covered.
I thought so too. We have an, I think we have an open,
Pull request into
an
CDF,
open pull
I think.
request still for IP policy. Is it this one? Yeah, here it is. I had it open already. So there was just a couple of updates that Andrea made. He added a paragraph about the common law stuff. And then I think unless anyone has any issues with the updates, might be helpful just to view the completed file here. There any more reviews necessary for this, or can we go ahead and accept this?
I'm good with merging it.
Okay.
Do you need me to go in and approve it? Or does
Yeah,
he have enough
I think it
approvals?
needs- Let's see. What does it need? I'm not able to merge it, so. Yeah. So what does it need? One approving review.
Okay. What was the pull request number?
It
1-2-10?
is 210. I'll put the link in the chat.
All right. Okay, I might go ahead and merge it.
Awesome.
Okay, so that's all done.
Excellent. All right. And then I apologize. I'm stuck with one screen right now and it's driving me insane and moving all the windows around. Right, member projects benefits document. This is just still in progress, I guess. I think it should just probably wait till Andrea returns. Reference architecture best practices. So we did introduce, somewhat of a discussion on reference architecture at the last interoperability meeting. We're starting with pictures, and the idea was to just get something simple out in order to start getting comments from the community, getting suggestions for improvements. That's the goal there. It's still very much in progress. Fatih, did we get the Chinese localization stuff archived?
Yeah, it's the repo was archived. I need to check the mail list as well, which I can do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, you can close that already, which I can do it right now if I have access. If not, then I can ask Michelle to help.
Okay. Let's see. Do I mark these as done? Can I drag it? Oh, I thought I could drag these. All right, well, I'll figure that out. Oops. All right. Next, we had document promote the role of TOC contributors.
For that, we updated all the lists, we updated all the documentation, so it should be okay in principle. At the same time, we have never promoted, we have never publicly said, okay, please join the TOC as a contributor, participate in whatever. So right now it's quite organic. I guess I should have myself as a contributor too. So I think it's just a matter of whether you want to announce it, how, but yeah, the legwork is done.
Okay. So you had a list of items.
Yeah, I think it's basically the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can finish these items, all of them are minor. But yeah. So I think we can close it quickly.
Okay. All right, CDF landscape update.
So we basically created it to just have it as a placeholder of what we wanted to do, because there was a number of discussions about what's missing from the landscape or what needs to be done. So together with Kara, we created a bunch of tickets at one of the TOC meetings. And
Okay.
basically this scope was partially delivered, partially is there, but yeah, basically it's just also looking at that and probably closing it.
Okay.
But yeah, so 1 to 3 is a bigger one because we already had some concerns about many projects missing. So I think that if you want to close it, just going through that, putting the projects and closing it would be the first step, maybe the last one.
Okay. Excellent. All right, how to join the CDF. I was supposed to have this pretty much done. I ran into some issues and I actually need a partner in crime. So I'd like to have someone that has been through this process before with their project to join me to finish this piece up so that I can make sure we have at least most of the right things in there for this process and be able to get it to the rest of the TOC for comment. So I know Tracy and Steve, you've been through this process, right? But it's been a long time.
Yeah, I went through it with Perseus, so that'd probably be the most recent one.
Okay,
So let's get together and we'll figure something out.
okay. I'll reach out to you then and we'll figure out a time.
Yep.
Awesome. Right, and the last one, streamline, simplify project onboarding. So we're working on the, still in the clarify IP policy. Looks like we've pretty much done that. And then, okay, this is just the parent project to those two tasks. We're almost done with this one.
Mhm.
All right. All right, any SIG updates? I spoke a little bit about what we're doing with interoperability group. We do have another meeting this week. I will be unable to attend, but the DC will be able to run the meeting this week. Does anyone want to speak to any of the other SIGs?
I don't think there's a whole lot to report for CD events. We do have a new release coming out at the end of this month.
Okay,
And I would say that we need to work on security events. So I'm hoping that we can make security events part of our roadmap for as soon as possible.
okay. We have, as far as CD events goes, at the Swamp Up conference that's happening in September, I'd love to help with Lori bring some folks to the table there. They might have some good contributions for security events, at least helping in the discussion. There'll be a few organizations there that will be interested.
I am speaking on that topic too, and I've introduced CD events on my talk.
Awesome. All right, any other updates? Okay, looks like we might be able to give you all some time back.
Sounds good.
All right, good to see you all. And
Thank
see
you.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.